Hello and welcome to a new video. Following on from the Ponkey branch video last week, today I'm going to be taking a look at the rest of the lost stations of the Rhosllanerchrugog area near Wrexham. Rhos was once described as the largest village in Wales with a population of 10,000 people. The former mining village was crossed by 3 railway lines: the Great Western's Chester to Shrewsbury line, the Ponkey branch and the Rhos branch. Starting with the Rhos branch, the Pont Railway arrived in Rhos from the south in 1867 to a point roughly where the later GWR Rhos station would be built, as can be seen in the view now. Rhos station was opened in 1901 and offered direct services to Wrexham. This station was built by the GWR to counter a planned East Denbighshire Railway, which local villagers had hoped would make the village more accessible by rail. By 1905, railmotor services were running all the way down to Wynnville, south of Rhos. Next stop for the southbound rail motors from Wrexham after Rhos was Brook Street Halt, which was more centrally located for the village centre. Brook Street Halt opened in 1905 and consisted of a small wooden platform which would have been to the left of the view now. The Rhos goods yard was located to the right of this view. Brook Street Halt would be closed by 1915 and the goods yard by 1963, with the site cleared and now in use as this car park. Next stop was Pant Halt. As we're looking now, this was a colliery branch that ran off the Rhos line. The line from Rhos came from this direction and carried over a bridge towards Pant Halt station, which was located in the far distance behind the tree. Pant Halt, along with Wynn Hall and Brook Street, would only be open between 1905 and 1915. There are some relics left here, this stone wall possibly being part of a bridge abutment. The line continued over the road and along this embankment towards Wynn Hall. We're currently standing with our back to where Pant Halt was located. Doing a quick 360 reveals the site of Pant Halt. In 1953, the line would be closed south of this point, with the rest of the line back towards Rhos closing in 1963. There was one more station on this line, which was Wynn Hall Halt. Today, nothing remains of this site. As far as Rhos station, the services between Rhos and Wrexham survived until 1931, when the station was closed. The Rhos station on the Rhos branch wasn't the first station to bear that name. One was built about a mile east of the village on the Chester to Shrewsbury line in 1848. However, it was very short-lived and had closed by 1855. It was located close to the Corkscrew Lane Bridge. There was another station which also served the Rhos area. This was Johnstown and Hafod station, which was on the Shrewsbury line just south of the original 1848 station. Located on the Bangor-on-Dee road, this was the main station that served the Rhos area. It opened in 1896 and would see service right through to 1960. If you have a close look, there are some remains such as old railings. Looking up at track level, you can also see old railings and possibly parts of the old platform still remaining. The former access path that led up to what was the Shrewsbury platform still remains and is still in use as a public right of way. At the start of this footpath is some elaborate gateposts which must date from the time of the station. The station was never really very busy, although it did get a lot of traffic of miners going to the nearby Hafod colliery. But in 1948, there was quite a wide selection of destinations you could travel to from here, such as Birmingham, Barmouth, Pwllheli, as well as more local places such as Shrewsbury, Wrexham and Chester. In 1960, it would be one of a dozen stations that would be closed between Chester and Shrewsbury. Looking at the site of the platforms today, there's nothing to see. It's quite overgrown. Another station that closed as part of the 1960 cull was Wynnville Halt, not officially in Rhos, more Rhwabon, but it did serve this small residential area in between the two villages. Wynnville Halt opened in 1934 and until quite recently there was some access steps which once led up to the platforms that still remained. Today there's some more modern steps leading up. Whether the original steps are still there underneath, I'm not sure. And that concludes our look at the stations of the Rhos area. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll put a link to the Ponkey branch video in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.